High above our world, in a magical land that exists outside of time, a very important meeting is taking place. In a circle of shimmering light, wise and powerful beings have gathered together. There are fairies with glowing wings, spirits who protect the forests, and ancient guardians of nature. Their leader, a wise and powerful being known as the Great Auk, stands before them. Today, they have come to discuss one very special human Santa Claus. Some of the magical beings are wondering why a mortal man, a human, should be allowed to live forever among them. To answer this important question, the forest spirits begin to tell the story of Santa's life, right from the very beginning. A long, long time ago, a baby boy was born to a poor woodcutter and his wife. One cold winter night, while they were traveling through a deep, dark forest, the parents got lost in the swirling snow. The cold was too much for them, and they passed away, leaving the baby boy all alone under the snowy trees. But this was no ordinary forest. It was alive with magic. A kind fairy with gentle eyes, whose name was Nisile, was flying through the woods when she heard a small cry. She followed the sound and found the baby, wrapped in a thin blanket. She saved him from the cold and brought the child to her husband and then to the Great Auk. The wise ruler listened to Nisile's plea and allowed the baby to stay and grow up safely in the magical forest. They decided to name the little boy Claus. Claus grew up surrounded by fairies, talking animals, and all sorts of wonderful forest friends. He learned from them how to be kind, how to be strong, and how to be wise. Even though everyone around him was magical and never aged, Claus was a human boy, and he grew a little older with each passing year. As he grew into a young man, he would often look out beyond the edge of the magical forest. He saw villages where human children lived. He saw that many of them were poor, sad, and had very little to be happy about. Seeing their struggles made his heart feel heavy. He knew, deep down, that his true home wasn't in the forest forever. He had a different purpose. So one day, with a heavy heart but a determined spirit, Claus said goodbye to his magical family and left the forest of Burzy to go and help the human world. Claus settled in a small village and became a woodcutter, just like his father had been. He also became a very skilled toy maker. In his spare time, he noticed that the children in the village had no toys to play with and very little to bring them happiness. So, Claus started carving wonderful wooden toys, little animals, spinning tops, and smiling dolls. He didn't sell them. Instead, he gave them away for free. He would sneak up to houses at night and leave the toys on the windowsills for the children to find in the morning. Soon, the village was filled with the sound of children laughing and playing. Their parents were so thankful for the mysterious gifts. Seeing the children so happy brought Claus a feeling of joy he had never known before. He knew he had found his calling. But not everyone in the world likes happiness. Deep underground, in dark and gloomy caves, lived shadowy creatures called the Ogwas. The Ogwas were evil beings who grew strong from sadness, anger, and fear. When children were happy and laughing, the Ogwas became weak and powerless. They were furious at Claus for spreading so much joy. So, they traveled through the human world, spreading cruel rules that banned all toys and playtime. They told the kings and rulers that fun was a waste of time. Claus, for the crime of giving gifts and making children happy, was arrested and thrown into prison. Even locked away in a cold, dark cell, he remained kind and brave, never losing hope. Back in the forest of Burzy, the fairies and forest spirits heard what had happened and worried deeply for their dear friend. They couldn't let Claus suffer. The fairies used their magic to secretly help him escape from prison. They guided him through secret paths and over tall mountains to a hidden valley, far away from the reach of the evil Aguaza. There, in that peaceful, snowy valley, Claus built a new home and a grand toy workshop. Soon, other magical helpers like the gnomes and the elves heard about his mission and came to join him. They helped him build toys faster and better than ever before. To help him deliver all the toys, the forest spirits enchanted a team of reindeer, giving them the ability to fly through the night sky faster than the wind. Claus learned how to use this magic to deliver gifts to all the good children in the entire world, all in a single night. From this day forward, people who heard stories of the mysterious gift giver began to call him Santa Claus. Year after year passed. Every winter, Santa Claus would prepare his sleigh, loaded high with toys, and set off on his magical journey around the world. Children everywhere came to believe in him and the magic he represented. He became a symbol of joy, hope, and kindness. But there was one problem that no one could solve. Santa Claus was still a human, and like all humans, he was getting older. With each passing year, his hair grew whiter and his steps became a little slower. The magical beings of the forest knew that one day he would be too old to continue his wonderful work, and the world would lose its greatest friend. And that brings the story back to the Great Council of the Immortals. The forest spirits have now explained everything Santa has done for the world, his kindness, his bravery, and his endless love for children. The Immortals in the council chamber listen carefully to every word. They understand now that Santa never asked for fame, riches, or power. His only wish was to see children smile and to bring happiness to their hearts. After the story is finished, there is a long silence. Then, the great Auk, the leader of all the immortals, stands up. A soft, golden light surrounds him as he prepares to make a choice that will change the world forever. The council agrees. Everyone can see that Santa's kindness is too important, too precious to ever be lost. The joy he brings to the world is a magic all its own. So, they decide to grant him the greatest gift of all immortality. A wave of beautiful, warm light surrounds Santa Claus. In that moment, he is transformed. He will never grow old or tired again. He will always have the strength to continue his mission forever. Santa Claus will always be there to bring joy to the world. And so, that is the story of how Santa Claus lives on forever and ever. Each year, when the winter snow begins to fall, he prepares for his magical flight, reminding all of us to be kind to each other, to share what we have, and to care for those in need.